Hello everyone, today we'll be talking about China's GDP in the last 3 years, China's inflation in 2025 to 2026, poverty reduction in China, explain population issues in China, and also the government's response. So let's start off with a brief explanation of China. China plays a major role in global affairs and decision making because they are a very powerful economy now in this world. They play a major role in global trades, finances, and the industry. However, with their rapid growth, they still face problems economically and socially like income inequality, environment issues, and aging population.
China's GDP growth shows a gradual decline over the 3 years shown on the graph. In 2023, the economy grew by 5.2%, then slightly decreased to 5% in 2024 and 4.9% in 2025. Even though the growth rate is slowing down, the economy is still expanding steadily. This slower growth may be caused by both domestic and global challenges, such as weaker demand and economic uncertainty. There are several main factors that continue to support China's economic growth. First, strong exports help increase income from international trade. Second, infrastructure development such as transportation and construction projects creates jobs and improves economic activity. Manufacturing is also an important driver because China is one of the world's largest producers of goods. Lastly, government support and policies help stabilize the economy and encourage growth. Despite continued growth, China also faces several economic challenges. One challenge is unstable global demand, which can reduce exports. Trade tensions with other countries may also affect business and investment. In addition, lower consumer spending inside the country can also slow economic activity. Problems in the property sector, such as debt and declining housing demand, have also created pressure on the economy.
Inflation is a continuous increase in the prices of goods and services over time. When inflation happens, people need more money to buy the same products, which reduces the purchasing power of money. Inflation affects consumers, businesses, and even the government. So, maintaining stable inflation is very important for economic growth and inflation stability. This slide explains the overview of inflation. Inflation is considered stable when price increases are moderate and controlled. Compared to countries with very high inflation, stable inflation helps maintain economic confidence and supports businesses' activities. Prices may still increase, but they rise at a steady and manageable rate. This allows consumers and businesses to plan their spending, saving, and investment more effectively. So, why is it stable? Stable inflation is important because it creates a healthier economy. Consumers feel more confident spending money because prices do not rise too quickly. Businesses can also plan production and investment more efficiently. Stable inflation helps maintain employment opportunities, supports economic growth, and prevents sudden increases in living costs. This is why many governments aim to keep inflation low and stable. Next is the government's response. To control inflation, government and central banks use several methods. One method is adjusting interest rates to reduce excessive borrowing and spending. Governments may also control borrowing and public spending to manage the money supply in the economy. In addition, subsidies may be provided for essential goods and prices can be controlled when necessary. Increasing supply is also important to avoid shortages that can cause prices to rise further.
China has achieved significant poverty reduction over the past few decades. Millions of people have been lifted out of poverty, especially in rural and less developed areas. The government focused on improving infrastructure, education, and job opportunities to help people achieve better living standards. Because of these efforts, poverty reduction in China is considered one of the country's global major achievements. To manage economic challenges, the government uses several strategies. First, interest rates are adjusted to control spending and borrowing in the economy. The government also controls the borrowing of goods to prevent excessive loans and debts. Subsidies are provided to reduce the cost of the essential good for these citizens. In addition, price controls can be used to limit increasing of price and reduce inflation. And lastly, the government can increase supply by producing or importing more goods to avoid shortages in the market.
So in conclusion, China has strong economic growth and significant poverty reduction and has been able to keep their inflation rate stable. However, China still faces some challenges like population issues or slow economic growth. Even so, China continues to adapt and improve its economy and become one of the most powerful countries throughout the world. That is all for our presentation. Thank you.